So,
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
how are you all? How is going on?
Good evening.
Good evening. Good year. How about you?
Yeah, me too. Good. So, hope whatever basic requirement, like creating Azure account and then installing the SQL Server in our local machine in your laptop. So, hope all of you making it get ready. Okay. Since SQL Server already started, you should have the SQL Server in your laptop. Okay. So Azure account also, please try to have it so that you will get familiar. Okay. So anyhow, hope all of you doing well, and hope you started practicing also. That's what expected every day. Always try to sync with me. Whatever we discussed today, you just try to practice it in the same day actually. Same day means next day. Okay. Since it is a evening batch. Okay. Now, so today what is planning is, so basing on some inquiries from the students actually, so they are facing some difficulty while creating a SQL server in their local laptop. Okay, so what we are planning to do is, so today now at the initially, let us try to create a SQL server in the Azure actually. So if you are unable to install this software in your local machine, so let us try to create in the Azure, and you can practice even in the Azure also. So let us try to observe all those things first of all, and then we will come to we will back to the SQL Server discussion. Okay, so this also very important. This is also part creating a resources in the Azure actually. Okay. So now let us try to understand how to create this. So as we discussed, Azure is providing many services. Okay. So here we are going to install Microsoft SQL Server. Okay. In the cloud. That is what Azure cloud. Then there we are going to do your practice, SQL related practice. Okay. That's what the plan. Now, how to create this? What is the background we need? Let us try to understand quickly. So we are going to, first of all, in a very high level, having a account, Azure account. Then in that hierarchically, if you see, you should have a subscription. Okay. Right now, what subscription we have? We have a free subscription, 1 month trial. So maybe if it is paid, you definitely going to have some name for your subscription. So that is what our free account assume. Okay. Now under this, so in one account, you can have many subscriptions. That's what intention. Subscription 1, subscription 2. So like that, maybe in your organization, you may have multiple subscriptions for each one project, one subscription, maybe. Okay, that depends actually. Okay, don't bother about why this many. Okay. Under one subscription, maybe for one project, one subscription. So your organization may have multiple projects. So in this, very importantly, we are going to have resource group. Okay, as name implies, nothing is there. MS SQL is one of the resource for your project, is it? For data migration project, SQL Server is the one of the resource. So for your project, what are all the resources required? All those resources you are bringing into one group actually. So maybe, for example, one resource group for the dev environment. So another resource group you are creating for the UAT environment, and another resource group you are creating for the production environment. Okay, so that's what the possibility. Now, under one resource group, you are going to create a different resources. That means whatever resources you are creating, those you are grouping with some name. So, for example, SQL Server. So I'm taking this under this group. So RG1. Okay, like a dev. and then ADF Data Factory we need. So we are going to group under this actually. And another thing, for example, Logic App or Synapse Analytics, or like this, we have many resources actually, maybe Databricks, or maybe Blob Storage, or Data Lake, or Key Vault. So don't worry about all these names. We will get familiar. These are the initial days only. Okay. Understand the concept. That is very important. Like hierarchy, try to understand. We are going to have a subscriptions. Under subscriptions, we are going to have a resource groups. Under resource group, you are going to have a resources, as name implies. So like that, you can have multiple resources, resource groups. And under each resource group, you are going to have a set of resources. You are just packing, actually, you are grouping. That's all. Now, in this whole process, let us try to understand now. Hope this high level understanding is clear. Now we already have a free subscription. We already have a one subscription. So we no need to create. Now to create a SQL server, what is the first thing we need to do? We need to create a resource group first of all. Got the point? Now let us start the working with the Azure portal by creating first of all the resource group. Okay, then we will try to create a SQL server today. Then we will start working with this. Maybe in the upcoming classes, maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow, based on our other concepts discussion, we will start creating a data factory immediately and then blob storage. These are the immediate three things we should need within 1 week of discussion. Okay, so let us try to get familiar of creating the resources also. That is also part of a data engineer role. Okay, so it is not a big thing. It's very easiest one. So first of all, hope you have got the idea that in the hierarchy where you are, what you are doing, right? Subscription already there. Let us go to the portal. Hope you are able to see this browser also. Is it? Can you quickly confirm?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. Now I'm opening the portal, Azure portal. So you can see this. So yesterday itself, we discussed that with a nice example like a catering. So what are all catering person is going to cook? What are all the dishes they can provide? So these are all the dishes Azure is providing. You can check that, right? So you no need to order all the dishes. Basing on your requirement, you will tell some set of the dishes. So same thing, basing on your project type, you will use some set of the resources. So the very first thing you can observe here, resource group. These are the common things where everywhere you are going to use. So as we discussed theoretically here, let us try to implement the same thing. So that's what, try to create a resource group. So we already have some resource groups, but we are not going to use them. Let us try to create a new one. So listen carefully. Similar type of window you are going to see even when you are creating SQL Server, or when you are creating ADF, or when you are creating Blob, or when you are creating any resource in the Azure. So similar window you are going to see. So that is common thing. So you will get familiar. So everywhere you are going to have a create. You are under resource group. So you are going to create a one resource group. So click on that create. Check that this is the window we are getting. See, as we discussed a subscription, under which subscription you are creating this resource. You are creating a resource, right? So that's what actually. So if you have more subscriptions, though that list you are going to get in this drop down. But we have only free trial. So that's what we need to select. By default, that is the selected. Now give the resource group name. Okay. So resource group name, we are going to give like this, resource group 1. Okay. Or let us give EFN-RG1. So here you can see while you are giving name. So here you can see it is name is okay. That's all. Then where you want to keep this resource group? Physically, geographically throughout the world, you are going to have a Azure clouds in different locations. In these many countries, it is there. So where you want to keep it, that is up to us actually, basing on our project actually, basing on the country of the client. So let us take India. So in India, you can see South, West, Central. So you can take any country or anywhere. That's not a problem. That depends on the project. Right now, for our practice, you can take anything. So that is what you need to configure. Now, everywhere you are going to have a tags also, not only for the resource group, when you are creating other resources, and you are going to have review plus create. So after giving the details, finally, for every resource creation, you will come to the review. So it is going to review the details, whatever is given, and then it is going to give the, and it is going to tell that validation is passed. If anything missed, it is not going to allow you. Validation is passed means here create button is going to enable. So click on that. Now this particular resource is getting ready. Yes, it is ready. So click on the go to resources. So that's all. Your resource group is ready. Under this resource group, you can create the resources. Or directly you can create that particular resource and then you can bring that resource under this resource group. Anything is fine. If you click here, by default, this is the resource group. If you come directly from here, then we need to select that particular resource group. Now, so that is what the first step done. Creating a resource group is completed. Now, what else we need for today? What is planned? We need to create a SQL server. Okay. So that discussion, that implementation, let us try to understand. So now come to
Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello, Achyut.
Yeah, Prithvi.
Yeah, this is in accordance with the one which will be creating local, right? In local SQL server. If you are creating.
No, in the cloud, we are going to create this whole discussion within the cloud, not in the local. So I told that, of course, why I'm today itself discussing creating a SQL server resource in the Azure is I got many calls today, like they are unable to install the, whatever be the reason, they may be company laptop or laptop configuration, whatever. So in the local machine, they are unable to install the SQL server and then SSMS. So at least they should practice, right? First of all. So that's why anyhow, I need to discuss this one, maybe after 1 or 2 classes. So that's why. So you are creating this resource completely in the cloud. That's what your question, right?
Yeah. I mean, its approach is similar, right? You are creating in cloud, so that's similar thing we can create local also. Right?
No. Local is different. Local is different.
Okay.
That's what.
Okay,
That's what. Yeah.
So
you
I
will
mean,
see.
concept is same, but process would be different. Yeah.
Process is different. Ultimately, SQL Server software, whether it is in your local laptop or it is in a cloud, its software is same. Okay. It's like a cooking a dish at your home or at a catering position. Same dish cooking is same. Is it?
Okay. Fine. Yeah. Okay.
Now let us see. Yeah. Thank you. So now let us see how to create a SQL server. But before going to SQL Server, I already told you, let us try to understand server related simple concept. So server, okay, SQL Server. So Microsoft SQL Server, if I say fully, under one server, you can create many databases. Database 1, database 2. So like that, you can create many databases. Okay, some n databases. That depends on the project actually. Now, under one database, you are going to have a tables. For example, well familiar names I'm saying here are views, or you can say stored procedures, or you can say functions, and many things are there, of course, indexes, triggers, many are. So table section, you can have many tables, table 1, table 2, like that. You can have many views, view 1, view 2. So like that, many things will be there basing on your functionality. So one simple thing, try to understand here. all these things in generally we can call as a object. So table is one object, view is one object, stored procedure is one object. Just terminology, I'm just telling actually. Okay. So anything you can call as a object. Suppose what is the object type of T1? It's a table object. What is the object type of V1? It's a view object. That's what actually. Okay. Everybody is a human, for example, in an organization, but some of them are the managers, some of them are the clerks, some of them are the salesmen. That's what, nothing is there. So each person for some particular functionality, for particular purpose. That's all. So now you need to create a SQL server, step 1. Then you need to create a database under this particular SQL server. So this should come under one of the resource group. Okay. So these basics I am saying, especially because many people are completely new. This is really very, very important. Try to understand. Now, what are the things we need to do? Create a SQL server. So come to the portal. See here, you just type here SQL server. Okay. Yeah, it is there. Come to the home. So it's already, it is database. This is different. Okay, right. You see SQL. You can see here SQL database, SQL server. Both of them different. Okay, that's what here you can see. This is server, this is database. So you can see the differentiation between these two symbols. Here you have a something extra settings symbol. That is what server always. So first we need to create a server. So that's what you can see here, server. Okay. So see, this is what window I told you, right? When you create a resource group also, similar type of window we observed. Is it? So that is what actually. Now, create a SQL server. So click on create. Okay. So this is also I told similar window you will see while you are creating any resource. That may be Data Factory, Synapse, anything. You will have basic section, tags section, review section, mandatory. Basing on the resource type you are creating, other options will be there. Okay. Now you can see here what we told, just observe. You are creating this one means this should be under one of the resource group, under one of the subscription. Then, so you need to come like this. First resource subscription, if you select, under that subscription, how many resource groups are there? Those it is going to list out. So we have only one subscription. Under that, these are all the resource groups. Now this resource database server, under which resource group you want to create? That is what this one, EFNRG1 we created, right? So that is what actually. Even on the fly also you can create a resource group. Okay, instead of separately we created, right, resource group, this part. So on the fly also you can create, that's not a problem. Now come to this section. Okay, this is really important. So your server should be identified uniquely, not just under your Azure account, not just under your account. So here my ID is there, my mail ID is there, not just under this mail ID. Your server is going to identify uniquely throughout the world. It's like a domain name, website name. So no two domain names are same, is it? So it is also same. No two servers, SQL server names should not be same. So such a way you should give the name. For example, I given a SQL server. See, it is saying that specified server name is already in use. Somebody already created, but under my account, I didn't create it, right? So that's what you need to understand. So name should be unique throughout the Azure. Okay. So let us give some meaningful name. EFN hyphens allowed. Name cannot stop. Okay. So EFN SQL server. So let us see whether this name is available or not. See now, the specified server name is available. So what is the extension? It is like a google.com or facebook.com or edufulness.com. Name is unique, right? Domain name. So this is name dot database dot windows dot net. So with this, you are going to identify uniquely throughout the world. Then where you want to install this. So let us take India. Okay, wherever, that's not a problem. So sometimes that is not possible to install in that particular location. So you can take some other locations. Yeah, it's fine. So first of all, server name, we finalize it. Then your server, you are going to log in, right? You need to log in, is it? So you should have an authentication mechanism. You should have a username and password. So to your SQL server, how many ways you can log in? So 2 ways you can log in. By you see this name also you are going to use very frequently in the real time. AD. AD means
Active Directory.
Active Directory. Okay. So your Active Directory, by using Active Directory, that means by using your ID, your mail ID and password, you can log into this SQL server, or by using a SQL authentication. That's what username and password. Or by using both also, you can log in. That's what both SQL and Azure AD authentication. So AD is people will call in short AD. So try to remember Active Directory. Active Directory, nothing, your username and password. By using that, you are going to log in. So now you can see if I select only this, you are not going to fill anything. Suppose if I select SQL authentication, you should give the admin name and the password confirmation. Suppose if I select both also, you should give here something. Okay. Now let us take the both. Okay. Then give the admin name. So I'm giving some name, EFN admin. So note down these names. Okay. Password while you are creating. Password also remember that. So what is the password? So let me give something. Yeah. So it is valid password. Then the next one. Confirm the same password. So that's all. Okay. Yeah. So now we are going to create a SQL server. Okay. So see, first of all, you need to review. Go to the review section. The remaining part, let it be. So validation fail, required information is missing or not valid. So what is missing? Let us come to the basic section. So here you see value must not be empty, which yeah. So here, who is the admin? So select this set admin. So whatever your ID is there, so that ID you just give actually. So this is what my ID. So you are giving the admin permissions to one of the ID actually. Now let us try to review again. So it is passed means here create button is enabled. Okay. So let us click on that. Now you can see it is going to create a SQL server in a Azure cloud. So that's what you can observe this status. So how you are installing SQL server in your local machine? So same thing is happening behind. Okay. So observe that what is happening. Deployment is in progress. So
Sir, can the Azure, the resource group and the server can be in different location?
Yeah, that's possible.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why we are able to create. That is we did many times also.
Okay, fine. Okay.
Sometimes few Azure services not available in few locations.
Okay. I mean,
see,
now we choose South India. It didn't allow.
Yeah,
like that
that's
was,
what,
yeah.
that's
Okay.
what actually. So actually, see, cloud is nothing but what? See, you are giving a catering means catering will exist somewhere. They are going to have some location. They have some shed. and cooking, all the setup will be there. Even here also, cloud is nothing but what? Definitely they are going to have some physical servers, some center will be there centrally in
Right.
different locations throughout the world, not just one location. Okay.
Okay.
That is up to you, basing on your convenient in which location you want to create those particular required softwares or hardwares or whatever. Okay.
Okay, fine. Okay. So now you're creating an Azure SQL database, a PaaS
Yes,
service,
exactly,
right?
exactly.
Okay. Okay.
So now you see our SQL server is ready. So go to the resource. So this is what your resource. See, spend some time because this is the first resource we are creating. So this is very important. How much you will understand on this. Similarly, any resource after 1 week, if I told you just create a particular service, you should be in a position to create, because everywhere things are same. Basing on the service resource, some differences will be there. Okay, while creating a resource group, we have only one option, but while creating a SQL server, we have many things, admin, username, password, and a name, and you need to set one of them as a admin. So like that will configuration will change actually. Okay. Now you can observe that this is the your SQL server portal. So if you come back to our slide where we are at here. This is done. It is not completely done. Now what we need to do, create a database. Hope stepwise you are able to follow. Anybody have any confusion anywhere? Hope it is clear. This picture should be in mind for you always. You should have the clarity where you are working. Okay. So not just creating randomly some service, some resource group, or not like that. Okay. So now we need to create one database under this server. So for that, what we can do, come to the portal. Now again, let us select the SQL database now. Earlier you taken SQL server. Now let us take the SQL database. See, this is what the database. Here one important thing, of course, not now. We will see after getting familiar of these concepts. Sometimes you need to analyze the cost estimation also. That is what sometimes we need to recommend as a technical person. You need to recommend to the client that you can go like this so that cost cutting will be there. Cost you can reduce. Okay. So that part I will tell that is related to the pricing type. Okay. We will see that in after getting familiar. If I tell now, you will definitely get confused. Anyhow, I will show you how the pricing will be. So now let us try to see, even when you are creating database also window is same. That's what I'm trying to tell. Now create a database. So hope where we are, you are clear. Now we are at this position. Okay. Now you can see, observe here, free trial, always subscription. So you should tell the subscription where you are creating, and you should tell the resource group. See, both of them, you can change it, not a problem. So we are going under this. Now, see the database name we should give, and under which server you are creating. Right now we have few other server. This is another server, and this is one server. So under this is what we create. This is what we created right just now. So that server we are going to take. Now database name is what? So EFNDB. So you can give any name. So I'm giving simple name. So hope this is clear. So this is what simple. What is what to use elastic pool? This part we have exclusive discussion. Let it be. So that some different something we need to discuss. Okay. So that's all done. Now you can see here it is showing some pricing. That's what I'm trying to tell. See here, maybe today I'm just telling this very early, but quickly let us see. Don't worry, we will come back to all these things. So how much configuration you need for your database? That's what it is telling actually. So as a layman, so this much size or this much capacity processing we need. So don't bother about too much. So let it be time being. Okay. We will see this part later clearly. How much configuration is. So let it be with the default things. Nothing is going to happen. We are going to do happily the practice. But very importantly, when you are
Sir, I have
creating,
a query. I have a query.
sorry, yeah, tell me.
Sir, in the creation of the SQL database server, are we supposed to, in the network field, are we supposed to allow the Azure service and resources to the Access server?
Exactly. I will come back to that point later, even in the today discussion itself. Okay. Because first of all, I don't want to interfere some other access related, networking related things.
No. Actually, you mentioned before only. I was bit slow in making the network.
That's what I will come to that point. So whether it is a public or private, okay. So that point we will enable later today itself. Okay.
Okay.
So what is the intention is, first of all, let us try to have resources. While you are accessing these databases, you are going to face some access issues. Let us try to resolve them separately. That's what my intention. Okay. We will see. If you have any doubt, later we can discuss. Okay. Let us try to have a resources in the portal right now. So this is what done. So naming everything is given. Now let us come to additional settings part. So try to have some tables here, existing table data. None means you are not going to have anything. Backup means if you have already a database backup, you can upload so that that database is going to come in your this database, or you can have some sample data also, some sample database with some tables, stored procedures, so that you can start practice. So let us take this one. Nothing is going to happen. Click OK to continue. That's all. Now come to the review, whether everything is okay or not. Let us check. So this is what you enabled this is what you configured. Okay. So create is enabled. So let us click on this. So now it is going to deploy the database actually under SQL Server, whatever you mentioned. Okay. So let it create. So let me share this screen. So meanwhile, so it is creating that resource. Meanwhile, let us come back to here. Okay. So hope it is clear that SQL Server we created and then database it is about to create. Now, see here, this database we need to access under this particular server. Okay. So you need to access it actually. That's what even yesterday, initially we faced to access the database from my local laptop through SSMS. So that is what actually try to understand. So whatever be the IP address of your local machine, that you need to configure here. Along with the, of course, username password is authenticating you, but it should authenticate your system also. Okay. So your IP address, we should create here as a firewall rule actually. That part we are going to observe very firstly. Okay. So just keep this in mind. Let us see here. Yes, our database is ready. So click on the go to resources. So you can see now, this is what your server you can copy when you are configuring through SSMS. Okay. And so all other details, whatever you give it. So this is what I told you, we will discuss later. Okay. This is very early to discuss. Right. So this is what the first of all database and both servers we created. Now you see here, if anybody unable to create your SQL Server in our local system, you can create like this the database, then you can practice here actually. So where we can practice, that's what you can see, query editor. So click on this query editor. So you see here, we told already that either you can log in with the SQL Server authentication like username, password, or by using your AD account actually. Okay, so that's what by using your ID and its password. So anything is fine. Let us try to log in with SQL Server authentication. So whatever password is given, I'm trying to give here. Let us see what it is going to tell. Click on OK. So it is throwing some error. So just read that first of all. So instance specific error occurred while establishing connection to this particular server. So connection is denied because public network access is set to S. Okay, connection was denied since deny the public access actually. So what we need to do at this moment? So you are not allowing to access this database publicly. So what we are going to do is go to the database. See here, this is sometimes you need to set actually. So as a database, as a data engineer, they are going to give the server credentials to you. Of course, in the Azure, you are going to connect to this database. But in your local machine, SSMS definitely will install. And from your local machine, you are going to connect to your Azure SQL Server in your project. At that time, definitely you need to configure your IP address. That's what I told here. So always, if any IP address related problem you got, come to the set server firewall and note down that definitely people will ask this in the interview. Okay, so IP configuration where you will do if you are unable to connect to the SQL Server. So that is what simple question. Okay, now first of all, public network access is disabled. So let us try to make enable. Click on this part. So that's all. Let us do this only right now. Let us save it. See, all these steps you will get familiar. Don't get confused. Okay, step by step only we are seeing. Now again, let us go to the query editor actually. So go to the query editor. Okay, click on this. See, now I am going to see already message is changed. You can observe, but still let us see here because here we seen some message. Same thing, of course, you are going to see. So now I am going to give the password. So I'm click OK. Now you see message is different, error message. Now what it is saying? Yes, now your server is publicly accessible. Now this IP address is not configured in the server. So copy this IP address. Then again go to the firewall rule. See, set server firewall. Now what we need to do? Here we need to create a as a rule actually. So that's what actually I'm trying to tell. Here, whatever IP address you have, that IP address, you keep it here actually. How and all? Either click on add a firewall rule. That's what in general we will do. This is internal IP address. So if you just click on this, so a rule is added. But don't forget to save it. I will come to this option. This is also important, but I will come in right time. Let it be time being. Click on save. Yes, your IP address is configured within the server so that you are allowed to access this database. So again, go back to the database. Now click on the query editor. Click on that. See, now here also you don't have any error. Even if I click here, it is going to log in by using Active Directory, or you can give the password here. Anything is fine. You can play with all the options. See, something is came. How SSMS here? Let me share the screen. See, hope you are able to see SSMS screen also, is it?
Yes.
Yeah. Now you can see how you are writing queries here, how you are able to see the tables or stored procedures, whatever. Even here also, here you will write a query, select star from some table name. So you see here tables, views, stored procedures. Let us minimize this, click on this option. So this is the window for you. Now enable, expand the tables. See, these are all the tables we have. So whatever queries you are writing, you can do here. You can practice here. This is what finally, if you are unable to do within your system, okay, this is the, if you have account already, you should have account anyhow. So try to have the account, practice from here also, not a problem. Anywhere query is same, concept is same. Okay. So here select a star from dbo dot. Let us take the first table. So just run this one. So to run this query, use this one. Whatever you seen in the SQL Server. So same thing here. So let us take another table, select a star from. So dbo dot error log. So let us run only this. So same thing. Okay. So succeeded, there is no records. Yeah, there is no records. Okay.
Achyut, are they going to consume some kind of like hours or that amount that we got?
Sorry, can you repeat the
Uh,
question?
Like
Hours?
is it going to consume those dollars, that free dollars we?
Yeah, definitely. Even if
Oh.
you connect through the SSMS also, it is going to same database, right?
Okay.
Is it?
Just one request. If you could specify that this is going to, there are certain free services as well, I believe.
Exactly.
Okay.
So yeah. See, not here. I will give the one link actually. So recently also we did some research on that part. Okay. So there are, see, right now all these resources are free up to some limited transactions. Okay, you are, see, I am writing, see, don't worry if you don't understand. Some people, see, if I select if I run this query, what is going to happen? This is one transaction. So that means this is one read request going to the database and coming back. That means that is one work done to the Azure actually. So they will note down what action you did. So like that, we have some limit actually. Up to that, you can use it freely. That many transactions, that many interactions you can do with the database or server. Upon that, they will charge. That's what actually here they are giving the credit, right? So where is that? See here, credit. So within this credit, you can use it. That's why if it is completely free, this amount remains same even after 1 month. Okay. So few operations are free, few operations they are going to cut the money from the credit. Okay.
Sir, I have one more doubt. If we are done with the 1 month period, what is the situation? Is it chargeable by a credit card?
Yeah, this question answered actually, but still you can see after 1 month, until you give the permission as pay as you go, they are not going to cut anything. You no need to bother about chargings actually, billing. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. That you are 100%.
The thing is, like, as it is currently I'm using one of my old account. So it is showing like after 1 month you'll be chargeable of 11,000.
Maybe free, not you are not in a free subscription. Okay. Please carefully check that. Okay. That definitely you old account means free account period is already might over.
Yeah, it might be over.
Take care. Check that. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyhow, so hope first of all, whoever facing the problem to install the SQL Server in our local machine, this is what the process. In this process, we clearly discussed the hierarchy and how to approach and different problems what you will face while you are logging in. All these things in the same manner, you try to do it. You can practice here anything. You can write the queries, you can write the stored procedures, whatever you are able to do in the SSMS. So like here we can take different windows, right? So this is one window, this is one window, like that, is it? So here also you can take new query. That's all. Here few queries and here few queries. That depends on your category of work. Okay.
So yeah, please carry on.
We can see the tables, right? And the tables and list of views and all, right? Is it provided by Azure or like it is system tables and of the transparent?
These tables you are talking?
Yes.
See, that's what, when you are creating this particular database, we asked that give some sample data. Is it? We enabled that option, none or dump or a sample data. So dump means if you have already database backup .pack file that you can upload and you can have a directly database. That part I will show you after getting some familiar with the concepts actually. If you have it, we will take the database backup and then how we will bring that to your cloud database. So that part we will see. But sample data we enable. So some sample tables it is giving actually so that you can do some transactions immediately for practicing purpose.
So it is only structure is enabled or like even the records also existed in between?
Sorry, your voice is not clear to me. Huh?
No. So this table, right? This table structure is there or like even some of the records also inserted already?
Already records are there. We seen, right? So from the build version, you can see. So here you can see already their query. Already see few tables have data. Few tables might not have data. See, here one record is there. Let me show you other tables which have more data. So select a star from. Let us take product. So that is schema is sales and product. Let us see how much data it have. Yeah, see, it have many records. Is it? Yeah. Somebody asking. Okay. So yeah, today really this is very, very important discussion because first resource we created, how much you will understand, you will be that much confident for the subsequent resource creation also. Windows are same. We observed for the resource group. So you can see here, we observed for the resource group, how to create. We observed for the SQL Server. We observed for the database. Okay. So within 1 or 2 days, we are going to create the main resource. The main hero of our training is Data Factory. So that is also similar. So we are going to create that. So meanwhile, let us try to complete some basics of the SQL Server. Okay. So hope meaningfully everything is clear to you for everybody. Is it?
Yes.
Whoever have difficulty, yeah, that's why today itself I'm saying this concept. Though it took time, this is very important. Okay. Right. Let us come back to our actual discussion SQL Server for today. Okay. And one more thing. We need a SQL EMP table script. Few people already asked actually. So see, there is no difficulty. Just in the Google, select like EMP table scripts in the SQL Server. In this particular database we need means SQL Server, MS SQL Server scripts we need for the EMP table. Take anything. See here, this table we need. Take this script. Don't worry, we will see these concepts, DDL, DML commands later. Right now we should have data to practice, right? So leave this part, paste it here. So this table we need to create. So just take that script, click on run. See, table is created. So let us refresh this part. Is it came? Not it came. Huh? Okay, no problem. It will come. Let us create other table also. Meanwhile, so now this is the EMP table scripts. Just copy whole 14 records, right? We know already. So take this till end. Don't worry about if you don't know these meanings. That part is separate discussion. So let us paste that here. Let us run this query. So now these both the tables are created. So take a new query. See that? Select star from EMP. So see EMP table data. Select star from DEPT. So see DEPT table. Okay. So try to take the scripts from the internet. If you still facing this also problem, that let me know. Feel free to ask. I will send the scripts. Okay. So just run those scripts, copy paste, and just click on run. First of all, you have the data. Okay. How to create a table, how to insert the data, that is separate discussion. That part later. Okay. So now let us come to our actual discussion. So we discussed yesterday till where class introduction. Okay. So what is the where class? What is its purpose we seen?
Hello, Achyut.
Yeah. Hi.
Sorry to interrupt. Actually, right now you are doing all this transaction-based activity through the cloud Azure SQL database. So, will you show that in the local also?
Yeah, right. So definitely, you see here, come here. This is what our SSMS, right? Actually, I thought of showing this one later. So anyhow, this is good point actually.
No, anyway, I mean, if you'll show later on, that's not a problem. We can see.
No. See, if anybody successfully created a SQL server here and a SQL, they means SSMS in local machine and a SQL server in the cloud. If they want to work from the local machine, so this is the right time only. So let us see here. Okay. See here. See, if you want to connect any new database, I already connected to some other databases. You see, so some other servers. This is one server. This is one server. Let me, this is one server. Two servers I already connected. Now one server we created just now. So while you are connecting to this one, better to go to the home of this. Go to here. Yeah, click OK. So go to the database. So you try to keep here, try to come here actually, so that we need to copy paste few things. So now you see, try to understand where we are. Just see here. So in the cloud, you have our SQL server. In that you have one of the database. What is that server name? That is what this one. See this server name. What is that database name? So that is what this is the database name, EFNDB. Yeah, so you have the clarity. Now this one I am connecting from my local machine, from my laptop through SSMS window. So I should provide this server name and the database name. That is not mandatory, but I should give the username and password. So I should need the server name, right? So come here, copy this server name. That is why it should be unique, because you are able to connect from your local machine means from anywhere you are in a position to connect. So come here. If you want to connect to any new database, so our server mainly, click on this button actually, Connect Object Explorer. Click on that. See here, server name and authentication. So server name, whatever you copied there, paste it here. This is what the server name. You can check that, EFN SQL Server. Okay, that's all. Now, what is the authentication type? There are many authentication types. One is SQL Server authentication type. Okay, another one is this one. What is this one? Tell me, whatever I highlighted.
Password based.
Active Directory password.
AD password.
Through AD.
Yeah.
Okay, simple. So that also there. And this part I will tell later. This is what in real time we will use. People will use for more multi-factor authentication, MFA. Okay, not only just with your username, password, and you are going to get some OTP to your mobile. So in the project, client is going to set your phone number. Every time whenever you are logging into this particular service, you are going to get a OTP to your mobile that you need to enter actually. So right now we are checking with the SQL Server authentication. Select that. So you see, suppose if I select MFA or password, options are changing, username, password. So that's what actually. So go for here. First of all, let us play with other things also. Now, what is the login name, username we given, admin name? So I guess this is what we given. Then password. So this is what we given. Got it right? So remember this password. Now you see, I suppose if you want to see database name, we haven't given. What is the database name? We not yet configured. That you can configure. That is optional actually. If you want to configure, go to the options. Here you can give the database name. Okay, but time being, let it be. We will come back to that also. Click on connect. What is going to happen? Just observe. See, you are able to connect. Now let us observe what are the tables here we have. Anyhow, we've seen already, but let us have it in front of us. So these are the tables. Okay. Now come to the database, expand the databases section. This is what your database, and expand the table section. See, build version, error log, address, customer. See, build version, DEPT, EMP, error log, address, customer. So what you are able to see, because here you connected and here you connected to same. Got it or not? So in this way, we are going to connect, but still another next time when you are trying to log into this server, you are going to get a one error. Okay. So what is that error? Whatever we faced here, while you are logging into query editor, IP address configuration. This is what our observation. Every time when you create first time servers, the SQL server, first time it is allowing actually. Next time onwards, it is not allowing. It is asking to configure the IP address. So how you configure the IP address here, IP address copied and went to the firewall role, and there you are adding a new firewall role. So don't worry, definitely tomorrow while you are logging into this particular server from the SSMS, it will throw error. So that time from here I will show you. Okay. So first of all, how to configure? This is what simple. Give the server name very importantly, which is unique throughout the world, and the authentication method. So that you are going to log into the server actually. Okay. Hope it is clear.
Yeah, hi, Shubhan this side. Can you please tell what is the minimum configuration we can keep for this SQL database server?
Yeah, 2 GB means in terms of capacity and memory.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so we have multiple options actually when while you are creating a so while you are creating that particular database. So like how many DTUs you need. Okay, and different options are also there. Okay, what we can do is yeah. So
Okay.
actually from 2 GB onwards, it is there actually, memory wise how much, and number of DTUs how much. That means capacity, how many cores you need for processing your data actually. So that is basing on our number of transactions we are doing and volume of the data. That
Okay.
basing on that, we will decide that configuration part, is it? So I showed that also, if you observed that in the billing part. But that we will expand more because this is very first class. I'm not elaborating that part actually. First of all, we should be in a position to create a resource and use it first of all. But still, we can go here and then we can see, suppose if you try to create a new database, okay, then here you can see the configuration. This is what I guess you are asking, is it?
Yes, yes.
So here different tiers, pricing tiers are there, serverless. So because ours is a free subscription, so sorry. So are you going for with different category of models are there? One is vCore based, DTU based. So don't worry about these things. This is very early stage to discuss. Basing on your purpose, better is this one or anything is fine. Okay, in our practice sessions. Okay. Basing on your size of the data and the number of transactions, that is very important. How many number of times in a day you are going to request the database. Okay,
Yeah.
that may be read operation or write operation. Basing on that, you are going to set the plan actually. Basing on that, prices are varying. See, so right now we have a under serverless compute. So this is what price is it? Now let me
Yeah.
select GTU based basic part. Okay, and I told right these options will enable for the paid subscription. Okay, these are coming for the even real time also. These things only options we have. So let us select the basic and observe the price. See,
439.
so 439 drastically reduced. Okay, so and maximum size. So this is what 2 GB. Okay, and 5 DTUs you will get actually compute DTUs. It's like a processing units. Okay,
So for our course, this much is fine, right?
this is more than enough because we will concepts we need to understand, right? How to use
Yes, yes.
queries, all this. That's why we will take less. Okay.
Okay.
So that is what actually, yeah. So anyhow, the today part really important. Okay. Try to create you also try to create a resource or whatever hierarchy. Please take this slide like anything. This is going to give the lot of visibility. Sorry. Lot of visibility actually. Very, very important. You should have the clarity on this part. Okay. So I will try to create by tomorrow with a nice diagram on this part. I will send it to you. Please try to understand theoretically. That is very important. Syntactically, definitely we will do it. That's not a big deal. Okay, where you are, what you need to do, hierarchy you should understand. Okay, so try to create a SQL Server database in the Azure and try to connect from the SSMS. Or if you are unable to do, you can practice in the Azure directly. That is not a problem. There is no difference to your billing also. Okay. So then, okay, anyhow, we have a very good discussion today because I planned something, but today it took entirely this one only. I want to show something in the where class in a performance wise. Anyhow, we will see that tomorrow. So that's all for today. So if you have any doubts, you can ask. Please start working, start doing practice. Okay, these are all initial classes are really important. Later on, we will see the concepts. But if you miss the basic part, definitely some lagging will be there. Some confusion will be there in the mind. So try to do the hands-on actually. Okay.
So, after completing the course, so will you provide any certification type of thing?
Yeah. With our institute name, definitely we will give the. But you see, one more condition. You should attend the maximum number. So definitely 1 or 2 classes or some percentage of classes we will miss. But you should attend the classes and whatever homework we are giving. Of course, we will give the completion certificate. But what from your side, show the some sincerity. So whatever homework we are giving every day, please try to do that part actually. Okay. Yes, as per your question, we will give with our institute name, we will give the certificate.
Sure.
Yeah. So hope all of you able to understand the classes. Okay. So
Sir.
start working also. Yeah, Rohit, continue.
Sir, as you mentioned in the SQL database, by uploading this employee table, right? I just created, but the thing is, like in the tables format, it is not showing the employee table. But while I'm running the code, it is deploying.
Table format means here.
If you want, I can share you my screen.
Is it useful to all of
Yes. Whatever the code you mentioned, I just copied accordingly in the database. But it's not showing in the table.
So I guess you are saying in the
Yeah,
database, the table name it is not showing, is it?
I got it, sir. Now I just refreshed it.
Yeah. I got your question. So that's what we also faced. So that is not a big deal. See, now I
Okay.
will try to log in with the AD. Click on that. See, logged in. So
just,
immediately after running, it is not showing. Yes, definitely it will not. You need to refresh it. Okay.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
refreshed it. I just
Yeah.
got it.
So even here also in the SSM also, if I create a table, immediately it will not show you, but come to any object, the database, right click, click on right click, give a right click. I'm going to give right click. Come here, refresh option. Okay. So if you refresh, definitely the table is going to. So now request is going to database. Whatever tables you created, that list is coming back. Okay. Immediately it may not show you. You need to refresh if you want to observe that in the particular object. Okay. Under particular object. Yeah. So my request is attend the classes regularly. Live class is always very important. Okay. If you are unable to attend the live class, at least go through the recording. Anyhow, after every class completion, you will get a recording. Okay. And whatever homework we are giving, please try to do that. Definitely at the end of the day, you will have a sufficient knowledge to do any type of project in the data engineering. Okay.
Yeah, bro. Hi, bro. I want one.
Yeah, Praveen.
Yeah. It's an industrial perspective. I want to clarify one thing. So by making the notebooks in the Azure Databricks, can we call in the Azure Data Factory? Like
Yes, we can do that. Okay. So, so whatever notebooks we are writing in the Databricks, so it is going to have some URL, and here we have one activity. So that URL we are going to configure in the Data Factory by using that particular activity. Okay. So just time being, let me show you quickly that particular one. Let me take the pipeline. Don't worry others. This part we will get familiar because this is our main thing. So come to the Databricks. See, in this activity, you are going to configure your notebook related things. Okay.
Okay.
So that's all. We will elaborate more this part later.
Yeah,
this
sure.
is very long this to discuss. Okay. Yeah.
And I understand, but I want to curiously know.
See, not only to the Databricks, you so like let me show you. See, you can write your code somewhere. You can call them from here. Okay, you can write on Spark clusters, and then you can configure from here actually. Okay. Yeah.
And when we like for example, by using Data Factory, we pulling the data from the sales data warehouse or Salesforce, we can create in the Databricks in the date part like with the timestamp, date part with timestamp. We can do it right in the by using Azure Data Factory. Actually, the context is I am using IICS right now. So. By using IICS, I am creating a date part like year, date part like year, day, and month.
Yeah. So format you are following that standard one. Yeah.
Yeah. By using the Data Factory, we can do it, right?
So by using that transformation, whatever we are doing in notebook, can we do here? Is it?
No. When we are connecting to the data sources like Salesforce, for example, if we take one accounts table, from on the accounts table, we are applying a date part to put in the raw zone in the Databricks. So can we put from the IICS, I can able to put from the Data Factory, can be able to put in the date format or not?
Date format. We have a dynamic expression builder actually here. So by using that we can do it. So let for example, what is the proper one here? So okay, I will just show you roughly that we can achieve it anyhow. Let me take variable. Yeah. So it is not at all relevant to your not at all relevant to the concept, but how you are going to have things. This is what add a dynamic content. So here we are going to have a lot of functions, so you can do accordingly. Okay. So this
Okay.
facility is there in all the activities respectively. Okay.
Okay.
So will you cover this all the concepts like upcoming?
Which concept? This dynamic expression or notebook related?
Yeah, like Databricks notebook.
Yeah. So this for this question, I am stressing many times. So for the see Databricks concepts we will see all the components wise. Then in the PySpark, whatever we are using for the data engineering, whatever is required for the data engineering, we are going to cover with the real-time scenarios. Okay, but because PySpark is definitely a separate big course. Okay. All the modules are Python, all those concepts we are not teaching, but for the data engineer, whatever is required, everything we will discuss. Clear?
Okay. You meant that even without PySpark or Python, whatever we can learn from SQL, by using SQL code, we can create the notebook and we can transform and we can.
No, not only with the SQL scripts. Okay, with PySpark scripts only we will write there. Because anyhow we know SQL actually. Why we need to again use there by going to the notebooks and writing only SQL scripts? Okay. Instead of that, instead of using the SQL scripts of doing the transformation, let us do with the PySpark so that we will get familiar, right? Another new language. Okay.
Yes,
so,
sure.
So we are discussing with the PySpark scripts only. I'm saying that in the PySpark, whatever is required for the data engineering, that we will see.
Okay.
Yeah. Is it clear?
So sir, when coming to the Azure Data Engineer job, I mean, full-fledged will be working in programming only, or like
No,
how?
Not at all. You see, only coding part will come if you are using the Databricks. There completely you need to write a coding, programming. Other than that, everywhere drag and drop, and in the SQL Server queries we will write. Okay. So everywhere, completely within the Data Factory or in the Synapse, it is drag and drop and configure. For example, this is the one activity. So whatever, don't bother about this meaning. So you are just configuring something, giving some name, and then here we are doing something like that. You will configure. We don't need to remember any syntaxes, but we should know how to use it, where to use it, for what purpose it is there. All those things, our discussion actually, is it?
Okay, so I mean, you can say like
So
only
I can say
20-20%.
70 to 80% is a drag and drop and configuration related. So that is what main engineering work here. And if you in your project, if you are using Databricks also, then you need to use the coding.
Okay.
Yeah. Suppose in your project Databricks is not there, then you are definitely lucky.
Okay.
Completely drag and drop, and mostly if you volume of the data is huge, then people will go for the Databricks for processing. Okay.
Okay, I understand. So I mean, if we have 10 years of experience and nothing into programming, that will not be a big problem here.
That depends on project, right? In your project, if they are using Databricks, then programming, they will ask you to do that also, because some modifications or some transformations we need to do.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't bother.
Okay,
It's not a big deal actually after understanding these concepts. Okay. We will start from the scratch. We will understand. Okay.
Okay, fine. Okay.
Achit, what are the prerequisites like for this learning this ADF?
See, the only prerequisite is SQL Server, that anyhow we are included in the course. Okay. So knowledge wise, you don't need to have any prerequisite. Okay. Just attend the classes, practice yourself also. Okay.
Okay. After learning, like means directly we can project, like we have worked in project, something like that, or means
here that's what actually our real-time scenarios making like that. Okay. So real-time scenarios, whatever we are discussing, whatever we did in the projects, all of them collected and then divided into different scenarios. Then those only we are discussing with the same standards, like a naming convention, or how we are going to for every work we are doing, how to maintaining the logs or alert mechanism. Different things will be there. Email alert mechanism or Teams alert mechanism. Different things will be there. So all the standards we are going to discuss. So definitely, if you practiced all the scenarios, so your experience at least 5+ years of experience for a data engineer. Okay.
No, actually, like currently I'm working data engineer only, but currently I'm working in on-prem. Like there is no cloud concept. So
Yeah.
you
Maybe
only
SSIS.
manually deploying. Manually deploying the shell scripts.
Yeah.
And like we're preparing the data and loading the data all through like normal throughput. We'll be running some shell scripts, and that will be calling like internally some other shell scripts. So they're loading like that.
So yours is completely related to the on-premises.
Yeah,
Okay.
on-prem. Yeah, basically like we'll be running on-prem, means
Correct.
there is no cloud attached to it. All the things like, because like it's a migration project basically, like they're moving one processor to another processor, like which is basically like, it's an old processor which has been handling from X company, so they want to do it with Y company. So that's the reason. So they want to move to complete processor feature, because like they don't want to have a dependency like which is been there already. So they don't want to go with that. So whatever the things which is already present, like what are the tables, what are the scripts, like we are basically changing into our new one. So that's the reason I'm just asking like how it will be like.
Yeah, no problem.
I just want to add like cloud to my resume. So that's the thing.
Yeah, definitely. Because in the future, everything definitely in the cloud only, right? So people, all the projects moving to the cloud because of
like there is no on-prem projects, like it's hard to get, and
exactly. Yeah.
it's not the way to grow in a sequence manner as an engineer.
Yep.
So that's why I asked like how it will be different, or like what all the things we'll be covering with you.
Sorry.
That's why I asked like what all the things
okay. Yeah.
like with the real time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, bro. For the day only at 8:30 p.m. or is any other timing the class is available?
Right now 8:30, and morning batch already 1 month over actually. So these are the only time right now. This is the fresh batch this week started.
Yeah, morning. What is the time?
Morning actually 6:30, but we are already in the mid.
Okay.
So we are there already in the data factory, and most of the concepts in the data factory also over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe after I'm planning actually, if any time adjustments are there, morning batch we will start soon.
Yeah. So approximately maybe at the next morning batch will at what time?
Number of days. We can say at least 2 weeks. If time adjustment is there, I will try to start. Okay. I will inform you. No problem. Very soon only we will start. Okay.
So Achyut, generally, what would be the duration of this course?
2 months. 2 months, Raj.
2 months.
2 months. Yeah.
2 months.
Yep. Yeah. Maybe 1 week more or less. Definitely 1 week more only. Based on the discussion going, because in every batch I will add a few extra things also. Whatever we faced in that duration, those also we used to discuss. So assume 2 months strictly, first of all.
Okay, thank you.
It will be daily classes, Achintya?
Daily. Monday, Saturday, Sunday we don't have class. But after 1 month, after enough discussion we have, sometimes I will put in the Saturday, Sunday, that basing on all of us who are enrolled, basing on their availability for discussing some more extra scenarios. Okay. But Monday to Friday, we have a regular classes. So hope all of you understanding the concepts, and this is the way we are going to maintain the classes and the same standard. I already told you.
Last question. So what's your expertise in this EDF? Like how long you've been into this, and
I'm there
how
in this.
fast it to change from on-prem to cloud or like whatever?
Sorry, I miss in between something. Can you
Yeah,
repeat?
but how difficult or how easy it will be switch to cloud technologies basically, and like what's our expertise in this?
So you see, it's not at all. There is no that much difficulty here. Okay. Only thing is we need to understand the concepts. Understanding concept is also not enough. If you practice more the scenarios, then your like expertise automatically going to increase. If you face the issues, real-time issues, so those real-time issues also we gathered. If it is possible to simulate, I will show you simulation and then I will explain how to solve and why this particular issue came. Okay. So in that way, definitely how many issues you solved, you become that much strong. That means that much you will explore within that particular technology, right? So, so in this, definitely scenarios going to make you like anything. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, so please try to enroll tomorrow onwards. Okay. So just call me or I will call back to you. So tomorrow onwards, please try to start enrollment. Already, most of them already done in the whoever they're here. Okay. So call me anytime. So or any for any assistance also while creating the account or anything, just let me know. We can discuss. That's not a problem. Yeah?
Sir, what is the fee structure, sir?
Fee is 8,000 rupees.
8,000?
8,000 rupees. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Achyut.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you all. All the best for your bright future. Don't forget that. Enroll by tomorrow. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you all. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good night.
Yeah.